I am happy to be here tonight, you guys. And I remember that story actually. But I really get excited when I have the chance to share this information with people. And the reason is because I know the impact that this information has had on my life and my family's life. And I get to be the one to share it with you. So that makes me excited. I want to start by just kind of telling you a little bit about myself and how I have found myself here. It goes back to when I was in my mid-20s. I was struggling with infertility. And for 6 years, I saw a series of doctors, was diagnosed with multiple different things, prescribed multiple different medications, until finally I said, enough is enough. I'm taking control of my health. I'm going to get myself healthy. And what I did is I started seeing an acupuncturist and I started taking different herbs. 1 year later, I conceived my son. So in 2009, when I was introduced to LifeVantage and our flagship product, Pro Tandem, I already understood how effective plants can work in our bodies. But in addition to that, I was intrigued at the idea of sharing that information with other people and making an income off of that. And the reason is that when I was 21 years old, my father was killed in a car accident. And when that happened, my mom was forced to try to figure out how she was going to continue to provide for herself and my brother. And what I realized is my situation didn't look a whole lot different than that. My husband and I ran our own businesses. I did the books on the businesses. He did the work. Well, if he wasn't able to do the work, I had no books to do. There was no income coming into our household. So when I learned about LifeVantage, I saw it to be something that we both could do. And if a tragedy happened in our life, either one of us could continue to run that business. You guys, every day life happens to people. Life being things like job loss, sickness, accidents. I believe that LifeVantage offers a solution so that when life happens, you're better equipped to deal with it. So in the next 20 to 25 minutes, I'm going to go over 5 different topics that I felt to be critical in me deciding whether or not this was something like a good fit for me. We're going to talk about the product and the science behind it. We're going to talk about the company behind the product, as well as the compensation. So you have an idea of the money that can be made, as well as the system, how we do this business, and timing and trends as how it relates to the world that we're living in right now. So to do this, I'm going to share my screen so that we can go through a slide presentation together. Okay, so we're going to be talking about LifeVantage, and just to get a couple disclosures out of the way, we're going to talk about money. So you need to understand that you get out of this what you put into it, just like everything else in life, right? We're going to talk about flipping the switch in your body so that you can feel better and do more. Why do you need to do that? Well, the reason is that our bodies are getting hijacked daily. The food and water we drink has pesticides and toxins. The environment is full of pollutants. Our personal life, maybe we're not getting enough sleep. We've got stress from work. Maybe we're not eating as good as we should or drinking things we shouldn't. The technology, we're inundated with EMFs and overstimulation. And in addition to that, you guys, did you realize that since the Industrial Revolution, 85,000 chemicals have been introduced? I mean, we are being bombarded, so we cannot continue to behave the way that our great-grandparents did. We have to take more action because we're inundated, right? I mean, we all do all that we can to remain healthy, but we are living in a world surrounded by all of the things that I just described. And what it does to our bodies internally is almost like dimming a light. You know, when a light is bright, you can see everything crystal clear, everything's very clear in view. But if a light is dim, it's a little harder to make things out. Well, that happens internally. And the way that that shows itself is we have a decreased immune system. We have brain fog. We lay our keys down and forget where we put them, or we start a sentence and forget what we are going to say. Or we're sluggish. Maybe have bad mood, lack of motivation, no drive, right? Or maybe increased stress and fatigue. But what's really happening in our bodies that's causing us to feel this way is elevated oxidative stress, mitochondrial decline, or a decline in sirtuin activity, and more. Now, you may not be familiar with some of this terminology, so I'm going to go ahead and break it down for you so that it's very clear to you. But know this, science had already discovered that our genes contain the ability to repair themselves, right? Like if you cut yourself, you see how it heals on its own. So if you could leverage those genes with a flip of a switch, would you do it? Let's talk about that first category, oxidative stress. If you've not heard of that before, to get a visual of what that is, this apple is the perfect demonstration. If you bite into an apple and set it down, we've all seen it happen. The apple browns right in front of our eyes, right? It's oxidizing. Well, the same thing happens on a cellular level. And the way that our body combats that is our body produces antioxidants. But as we age, that antioxidant production decreases. By activating our NRF2 pathway with a combination of 5 plants, we flip the switch on the NRF2 pathway. And by doing that, we lower our oxidative stress levels an average of 40% in 30 days. How incredible is that? By taking Protandim NRF2, your body can start to repair itself by producing more of those antioxidants. You guys, Washington State University said that NRF2 is likely to be the most important health promoting approach in the foreseeable future. NRF2 may become the most extraordinary breakthrough in the history of health. That is not us saying that. That's Washington State University. I talked about how our bodies produce their own antioxidants, but notice in this graph what happens as we age. That production's pretty high at the age of 20, up to the age of 20, but then it decreases drastically. Well, what happens if we flip the switch on our NRF2 pathway? The results are that you're producing those antioxidants the way that you did when you were 20 years old. You don't have to take my word for it. PubMed.gov is the National Library of Medicine. You can go there and type in Protandim and see over 25 studies that have been done on Protandim. Studies by Harvard University, Ohio State, Virginia Commonwealth, Colorado. All of these different universities that are popping up in front of you have all done research on not an ingredient of Protandim, but on Protandim itself. So that science was so incredible. The NRF2 technology is so incredible that we dug a little deeper and found that there's 2 other pathways that we can address in combating aging. And that's our mitochondrial health and sirtuin activity. Mitochondria is kind of like the energy of the cell. It's like a little battery, a powerhouse in our cell. And the mitochondria is constantly repairing itself, replacing itself, I should say. And as we age, that production decreases as well. But by activating our NRF1 pathway with 5 plants, we're able to flip that switch back on. And the results in doing so is that our NRF1 gene increases nearly 70%. You guys, it's incredible when you start realizing what you can do by getting your body to start working again the way that it did when you were younger. The result is that energy comes back up because of what's happening inside of your cell. Who doesn't want that to happen, right? Now, the sirtuin decline is important because sirtuin activity, that's responsible for cleaning the gunk out of the cell. It's responsible for they're like little garbage men, taking the trash out of the cell. And again, that production of sirtuin reduces as we age. With 4 plants, we flip the switch on that sirtuin activity with the NAD product, the NAD synergizer. It increases sirtuin activity 100% in 24 hours. By doing that, you're getting rid of that gunk that's in the cell, the trash that's in the cell. Picture this, if you have a bicycle and you ride a bicycle through a mud puddle and that mud cakes on your wheels, you can continue to ride your bike and move forward, right? But there's a little bit of tug. There's a little bit of a lag. Taking NAD is like washing all of that mud off. It's smooth sailing, full speed ahead, right? But what happens if you were to activate all three of these at the same time? Well, let me show you the results of those tests. The gray bar represents each of these products being taken individually. Incredible results. But look at what happens when you take all three together. The synergistic effect of taking these products together is much greater. So you just have to ask yourself, do you want to feel a little better or you want to feel a lot better? With the flip of the switch, you're good to go, you guys. Are you ready to flip that switch? Supporting positive mood and motivation, supporting healthy longevity, improving mental focus and concentration, and boosting mental and physical energy. And for me, the older I get, the more important this one is, supporting healthy inflammatory response, right? As well as supporting healthy vascular system. These products, when bought in combination as a set, we call it the Tri-Synergizer Pack. You can get it that way discounted as opposed to purchasing them individually. You also get free shipping and a 30-day money-back guarantee. Like, that's a no-brainer, right? So you've learned this information. It's exciting information. I know I'm throwing it at you very fast, but I want to be respectful of your time. But here's the thing. When you find out something amazing, it's our inclination to want to share that with other people. I mean, if I see a great movie, I'm going to tell my friends about it. Why? Well, because I want them to enjoy it too, right? Or if I go to a great restaurant, they're going to know. I want them to be able to go and have that same experience. Well, you've just learned about some products that do amazing things in your body. No doubt you've thought of people that you can share that with, but you don't even know the full story yet. You just know about our amazing products. Let me tell you now a little more information. Let me tell you about our company that's behind these products. LifeVantage is 11 years old. We are a publicly traded company on the NASDAQ. That was a big deal for me, you guys. That gave me some backbone when I partnered with this company. We're debt-free, and our board of directors is comprised of former executives from Coca-Cola, Airbnb, Amazon, SC Johnson, and one of our most recent additions to our board is Erin Brockovich. Yes, that one. And you know what she stands for. Unbelievable stellar group on our board. In regards to the trends and timing, you guys know when it comes to business, it has to be relevant, right? It has to be relevant to make sense. When you look at society today, have people ever been more interested in their health than they are right now? No. And the products that we've discussed are not the only products that we have at LifeVantage. That's just the anti-aging line that we discussed. But we have categories, we have products in each of these categories shown, and those categories are make up $600 billion in revenue. So we've talked about the anti-aging line. The skincare line we have not talked about. And you guys, they use that same Nerf2 technology. Your skin is your biggest organ. That's huge, right? The hair care system also uses the Nerf2 technology. The pet tandem is like Pro Tandem for dogs, Nerf2 technology. Our energy is healthy energy, nootropic. It's like brain food. Unlike everything that when you walk into a convenience store, anything you're going to get in there for energy, not good for you. This is good for you, as well as weight management. When you think about people's attention and where they're focusing attention, in 2017, people were more interested with the way that they looked than the way that they felt or their health. But look at what happened in 2018. It was a flip-flop, right? Can you only imagine what the graph is for 2020? I have a feeling it would be far more drastic than this. It's a perfect business model. And let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I say that. You can work from anywhere. You work from a cell phone, from your laptop, wherever you have Wi-Fi, you can work. Your office is virtual. So you can take it wherever you go. You don't have to stock product. The company ships it directly to the end user. There's a low point of entry to get started. We share this socially, which has been incredibly convenient over the last few months. We have our own personal online store. There are daily bonuses and travel. It is wonderful to be a part of this business. I'm telling you right now, that is just some of what makes it perfect. Now let's talk about what people are earning here at LifeVantage. This is our annual earnings disclosure statement. And I'm just going to focus in on a couple of our ranks here. Pro 3 is what we call our core rank here at LifeVantage. It's our goal to get a brand new distributor to the rank of Pro 3 as soon as possible, where the average income is $626 a month. Now, for a lot of people, that could really take a measure of stress off of them. Maybe cover a cell phone bill or a car payment, or, I don't know what your bills look like, but no doubt an extra $600 would relieve some pressure, right? Notice what our Pro 5s are earning. That's the mid rank here at our company. They're earning $3,100 a month. And it takes them an average of 16 months to get to that point. Now, if you think back to a year ago at this time, had you made the decision to get involved with LifeVantage and were working towards these goals, right? You'd be on the cusp potentially of this $3,000 a month mark. Would that have made a difference for you in your life, given what everybody's been going through? I mean, an extra $3,000 that you're able to continue to work from home with your phone, big deal, right? Check out our Pro 7s. Our Elite Pro 7s earn an average of $13,000 a month, and it takes them an average of 30 months to get there. I don't know about you, but our traditional businesses we didn't reap those type of results in 30 months time. So definitely worth kind of taking pause and going, okay, there's legitimate money to be made here, but how do you get started? This is our enrollment packs. Our start kit is $50. You're not commissionable with just a start kit. So we encourage people to pick a pack. We say, get in where you fit in, right? What makes sense for you. I personally enrolled with the Platinum Pack. Here's the reasons that I think that the Platinum Pack's awesome. Besides it's the greatest discount, you get to try all of the products yourself. You get to start having your own product experience and have extra so that you can begin marketing your business. Now, you may be wondering, but can I do this? And I'm going to tell you, I wondered the exact same thing because I had never done network marketing before. I had never done anything like this at all before. But let me tell you what I found. What I found is an incredible, incredible support system like nothing I had ever experienced. We have global customer support. We have an easy to follow ITT system. I didn't have to try to figure out how to share this information. I learned the system and I went and I did the system. It's how I was introduced to the business. It's how I and my husband grew our organization to a Master Pro 10 rank. And it's how we teach our brand new distributors to this day to grow their business. It's a system that you can easily follow. We have regular team meetings and trainings. Now, many of them are done on Zoom, which makes it ultra convenient, right? We have many corporate events and trainings. Incentives are constantly being ran and a private support community, you guys. So all amazing things to help us in growing our business. But what I want to do is make sure you're understanding the significance of the information that you're being given and understand where this company's going and the momentum that is being created as we work to get there. In 2019, you can see some of the things that were accomplished. We received Stevie Awards on some of our products, added to the Russell 3000, added Aaron Brockovich to the board, opened in Ireland and New Zealand. We're asked to ring the closing bell for NASDAQ. Our Jersey Front title sponsors for RSL soccer team. And these are the markets that we're currently open in, you guys. In addition to that, it's a company that gives back. All year long, donations are taken to build houses in Mexico for those in need. And at the end of the year, a group is able to go there and actually build those houses. My family and I had that experience of going and building houses and then watching the keys be turned over to the recipient. And it was the most heartwarming thing to be a part of. I absolutely loved every minute of it. incredible experience for our entire family. So I've gone through a lot of information. I've gone through it fast. So you probably will find yourself in one of these three areas. One, you still need more information, and that's great. That's okay. Get with the person who invited you to this, and they'll get that information for you. Or maybe you've heard enough that you want to start taking the product. That's awesome, because your health is going to be improved. Or perhaps you're like me and you want to start taking the product and you go, I want to do that business too. Like I want to get in on that action, right? Wherever you find yourself, I encourage you to get back with the person who invited you tonight so that they can assist you in getting to that. But you guys, at the onset of this presentation, I told you that I believe that LifeVantage is a solution so that when life happens to people, you're better equipped to deal with it. Well, I want to share with you a story. One of my business partners lives about 45 minutes from us. And when they were introduced to LifeVantage, they were running a very successful nonprofit organization. And they really were not interested in adding anything else to their plate, right? But they did it anyway. They said yes anyway. And they started building their LifeVantage business along with everything else that they were doing. A couple years into that, they received a phone call that their son, who lived on the other side of the United States, was in a tragic accident. They dropped what they were doing and flew to be by his side. And they stayed by his side in the hospital for 2 months while he underwent surgery after surgery after surgery to try to save his life. While they were there, they were not concerned with making a house payment. They were not concerned with how they were going to pay for their car. They weren't concerned with how they were going to put groceries on the table. The reason is that in the couple years prior, they had been building their LifeVantage business, and they had generated a leveraged income so that when that happened, they could be there. They could be present. And that's exactly where any one of us would want to be in that situation. So what I've learned is that it's always tempting to put off doing something that could make a difference. It's always tempting to make excuses, maybe even some that are legitimate, but it's the people who take action that reap all the rewards. It's the people who take action that have those moments. It's the people who take action that reap all the benefits. It's time to take action. Thank you for joining me tonight, and I hope that the rest of your evening is wonderful. Skylar, I'd like to turn it back over to you.